last section in chapter 9, 9.7, day 1, answers are here. And we're going to do one more day. I decided day 2. And the reason why I'm doing the second day is I want to show you guys a few more interesting problems, a few more challenging questions that we can work with here. So if you have questions on this stuff here, let me know. And then let's get right into day 2. What we're going to be doing today is I did a couple equations where we solved yesterday. I threw some equal signs in there. If they're just expressions, you're just going to factor them. But this is solving equations by factoring first. What we're going to do is we're going to put all the terms on the same side. We're going to put them in descending order. We're going to factor the GCF. We're going to try to use different techniques that we learned yesterday. So the first thing I'm going to do here with this one is I'm going to switch around the order and then factor out the GCF. And the GCF here is 2 or 4. No, 4 doesn't come out of 18. So I'm going to go with negative 2 here, negative 2. And you know what? I'm going to show you guys something right away. If it's an equal sign, you can divide. Let me put this in your notes. If an equation you can divide both sides by a numerical value. And by me saying numerical value, I mean not a variable. You cannot divide both sides by a variable, but you can divide both things by a number. So you know what I'm going to do here? The number that you're going to factor, you can just divide both sides by if it's equal to 0. So might as well just divide by negative 2 and get rid of that negative 2. And there you go. So it makes things look a little bit nicer. And then if I square root 9m squared, that gives me 3m. If I square root 16, that gives me 4. So we're looking at 3m minus 4, 3m plus 4 equals 0. So my two answers are going to be m equals 4/3 and m equals negative 4/3. Okay, this one here I'm going to add the 3t squared to the other side. And what that's going to do is that's going to make that positive. So positive 3t squared minus 108. And then again here, I'm going to divide all terms by 3. I can divide by a numerical value. It's just is going to simplify things up a little bit for me since I'm solving the equation rather than factoring. All right, and then square root of t squared is t. Square root of 36 is 6. So 0 equals t minus 6, t plus 6. And t equals 6, and t equals negative 6. So there's your two solutions, or your roots. These are fun ones here. We got some fractions, and kids get scared of fractions, but they shouldn't. So let's first add that x squared to both sides. And the square root of x squared is x, and the square root of 4/9, we learned how to do this. It is 2/3. Okay, and so the kids are like, well, how do I get the negative 4/3? So, well, okay, let's take a look at that. We got x times x is x squared. We have negative 2/3 times negative 2/3. That gives me the positive 4/9 that I see for my c value. Negative 2/3 x and negative 2/3 x. If I put together negative 2/3 x plus negative 2/3 x, that gives me negative 4/3 x, which is what I have. And so that's where all the numbers come into play. It's really not any different, but it's kind of a fun question. So that is our factored form, and our solutions are x equals positive 2/3, and only positive 2/3. So there you go. I'm going to subtract the negative 2/9 onto the other side. And I have 0 equals 8x squared minus 2/9. Now this one is kind of unique because I have a fraction here, and I don't know what I want to do with that. I think the best thing that I can do here is to multiply the entire equation by 9. And what that's going to do is it's going to keep 0 times 9, 0. That'll give me 72x squared, and that will give me negative 2. So by multiplying the entire equation by 9, it gets rid of that fraction. And now I actually see that I have a common 2 in the 72 and the 2, so I'm going to divide everything by 2. So multiplying by 9 is no different than dividing everything by 2. You're doing the same thing to each term. And that allows you to keep things equal or equivalent. Okay, now, divided by 2, and square root of 36x squared is 6x squared. Square root of 1 is 1, so we have 0 equals 6x minus 1, and then 6x plus 1. So my answers are positive 1, 6 and negative 1, 6. And there you go. So this section here combines a lot of previous sections with some algebra skills. I think I got one more for you guys. I'm going to bring the 20x squared to the other side. It's going to become positive, and I'll add the 3 to the other side. That gives me 4. Okay, square root of 25 squared is 5x. Square root of 4 is 2. This one's going to be 5x plus 2 and 5x plus 2. And so that gives me x equals negative 2/5 and negative 2/5. So there you go. Homework 25 through 39 odd. Let me know if you guys have any questions on this. It's kind of a fun section. Hope you guys enjoy.